Y'all, we didn't get enough of At the Bench with Sarah Boone's prosecution and defense team in part 1 of this video. So we're going to continue going through those transcripts and seeing what the behind the scenes was like on the Sarah, the Boone's, the trial in today's video.
Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey.
So if you're tired of stressing over what to eat, but you want to stay on track with health goals, whatever it is you got going on, Hungry Root has you covered. If you're looking to cut back on dairy, avoid gluten, boost protein, eat clean, whatever it is, they make it super simple to shop and cook with confidence. Once you get on there and you start buying stuff, you share your preferences, whatnot, they hand-pick groceries and recipes tailored to your lifestyle. Literally, y'all, for like the last box or two that I've gotten, I just let them send whatever. And I've liked everything that's been in it. This right here, please, gone, right? And there's some surprises that come with it. And obviously I've done my staples and whatnot. That's a given. You're gonna get into what you get into, but I absolutely love it. I love the convenience. I love how it shows up. And I like the kind of like the, what's gonna be in the box this week? Even though I kind of already know, okay. But the more you use the system, the better it gets with the recommendations, like I just said. Also, huge thing for me, you know, they have thousands of recipes, okay? And literally most of them, if not all, we're talking less than 15 minutes, okay? So it's super easy to feed yourself, a family, a partner, whatever you got going on, they've got it on lockdown for you. And there's like everything there, y'all. There is smoothies, there's kid-friendly snacks, there's pre-made meals, there's, you know, frozen goods, there's pantry staples, and everything's made with clean ingredients and responsibly sourced proteins. Hungry Root's like literally having like a personal grocery shopper who goes and does your stuff, but they also have your health in mind, not just your wallet and your time. So I just sit here and I just meal prep it out for the week, and you can just do it kind of however you want to, right? I already cooked the chicken. And it comes with the real easy to use stuff. Now, obviously, I mean, is this groundbreaking? No. Is it fresh? Absolutely. Are we trying to reinvent the wheel? Absolutely not. We want healthy, measured, good foods that are grab and go, and they've got it on lockdown. Another thing that I love with Hungry Root is the fresh fruits that they send. Pineapple, grapes, I love it. And it's just super easy. I mean, you get this right here. They're fresh. You divide them up. So let's do it. I love pineapple. Oh yeah. I mean, that is good. I could 100% eat this whole thing right now. I'm not going to. We're gonna be good. And I just mix them all up in here. I just like the blend. I like just grabbing a quick little cup of stuff. And that's the thing too with Hungry Root is, you know, you sit here and you order this, and I might get tired of like pineapple or whatever. You just have something different the next shipment and it's done. It's grab and go. You don't have to think about it. And there you go. And also, I get a hankering for like summertime food. Think hot dogs, hamburgers, that kind of stuff. So it's all pre-done. It's this great quality beef. Then I get the like nice little thin sliced things here. And then some fun pepper jack cheese. 70 calories a slice. I mean, you can't ask for more, right? And the other thing too I like with these pre-done ingredients is I can sit here, like when I'm food prepping, I can sit here and make a secondary meal. So like with this right here, I'm gonna make a leftover meal, if you will. Not of the fries, but of the burger and whatnot. Now again, I just do very simple. I try to just do mustard as a dressing because it's so low calorie. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna have one now and then one later, and I'll dress that one out later. Now I also have my french fries that I'll put on here too. Now just here, take a look at this nice little thing. Now I'm not gonna eat both of these right now, but isn't that cute? Look at that. I mean, come on. I might eat too, let's be honest. So, and as usual, Hungry Root is hooking up the Sofa Squad, right? They always do. So take advantage of this exclusive offer. Look, for a limited time, you get 40% off of your first box, plus you get a free item in every box for life. Okay. So click the link below or go to hungryroot.com. You're going to want to use code Sofa Squad. So that's 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life at hungryroot.com with code Sofa Squad. Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the sofa. There's some sofas back there, and there's a Paul right here. Hello, y'all. If you are new to the channel, my name is Paul. If you're not, my name is Paul. All around, my name is Paul. Y'all, today what we're doing is we're going to continue going through the transcripts. What I've done is I've pulled out the sections that are like the sidebars and whatnot, the sidebar Sarah's of the full trials transcript, and this is of Sarah Boone. If you did not follow this case, you're probably much better off than a lot of us who did. Let's just be honest right there, okay? But Sarah Boone was convicted of taking the life of her boyfriend George Torres by zipping him up in a suitcase and essentially letting him suffocate to death in what I imagine to be a horrible death. She represented herself. She dragged the case out for years and she got life in prison. And I think the judge probably loved handing that down to her. But they recently released the transcripts from the trial, and in those we get to hear like the parts that we didn't hear during the trial, which were the sidebars. So I'm reading through those. If you follow me, you know that I kind of tend to go into character voices. So to make it easy, what I've done, because for whatever reason at this point we just need to accept, and as well as me, I like to do the defense voice, whatever case it is, in like a very southern drawl. I don't know why, it's just what I grew up around, but for whatever reason I just end up doing that with the defense. So Mr. Henderson and Mr. Owen will kind of be that voice, okay? And I might slip off into others. We never know what's gonna come out, okay? Let's be honest, right? There's a lot of stuff going on up in here. A lot of stuff going up in here. So let's go ahead and just jump in. I'll put them on the screen. You can read along with me. So here we go. The court. Yes, sir. Mr. Henderson, I would rather not just tell the circumstances in front of everybody, okay? If we could just call them up. The court. Yeah, all right. I'll advise them that we'll call them in and we can address that privately. Thank you. Mr. Owens. He's about done. Or the court. We'll pick up tomorrow. We may deal with some of the private stuff this afternoon. I mean, we're here. Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to address 51 and 29 today or tomorrow? Mr. J. Today. Court. Okay, that's fine. Very good. Thank you. The court. Do we want to address those individuals who have private concerns, 51, 39, and 22, or Mr. Owens? I say we do it in the morning. It's 5:15, boy. I mean, we said we'd break at 5. We've got all day tomorrow, right? The court. Fine by me. What time do we want them to report back so we might be able to address the objection issues in the morning? Mr. Owens. 9 o'clock. The court. You want them back at 9? My only concern with that is I don't know how long it's going to take to weed through the objection issues. Mr. J. 57 paragraphs to go through. The court. It's substantial, and about a quarter of them, ballparking it, quarter of them, a third of them at most, the state doesn't have an objection to. But the balance of them they do, and assuming 2 minutes apiece, do the math. That's an hour at least. At the minimum, it's an hour. Mr. Owens. You want them here at 11, boy? Mr. Henderson, I'm really thinking, the way things go sometimes, I'm really thinking after lunch. And the only reason I say that is if they get here at a certain time and we start, what time are we going to stop? The court. I've read the state's objections. I mean, some of them are, well, these documents haven't been produced. Those will not take a substantial amount of time to address. Others of them are hearsay. The state's objections are poignant and direct. So I can't imagine it will take us more than an hour. Maybe an hour and a half tops to weed through it. I have arrangements tomorrow. I don't know how many notices and waivers have been filed, and I have one reset plea. So let's plan on kicking off at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'll advise them to be here at 10 o'clock, and that way we can bring them up at 10:30. They can report downstairs so we can bring them up at 10:30. It gives us a little bit of between an hour and 15 and an hour and a half to address all those. Mr. Henderson, it should give me enough time to get to my part. The court. All right. Very good. All right. Thank you. I'll give them the same instruction I'll give our panel on the last couple of days as well. The court. I was on the family bench for 4.5 years. Here's my concern. I don't know the status of this litigation, but if there's a pending supplemental petition and he's arguing a substantial change in circumstances regarding alimony, there's not a requirement for him to pay it. It's not contemptuous. Mr. Owens. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I don't believe that's the case. The court. That's not a pending supplemental petition? How did he move to Gainesville? The only way he can do that is with a supplemental petition. Mr. Owens. The supplemental petition didn't have anything to do with the alimony, boy, okay? It just had him. He wanted to move the child to Gainesville. And I know the judge granted that order because he's living in Gainesville. So he got permission from the court, okay? But I don't believe that there was any pleading filed about staying his, alimony payments while she was in jail. But I'll look at the file. The court, I need clarification on that because I'm worried that there's other legal issues in the family law realm that are going to be at play for the non-payment of his alimony. Mr. Owens, I think I'd proffer it up to the court if I was going to make an attempt to impeach him. The court, Mr. Owens, on a topic related to his family law matter, Sarah's family law matter, I would proffer that testimony outside the presence of the jury for the court to make a ruling. The court, okay. Mr. Owens, I don't know at this stage what he's going to say, but I think it's fair game on cross-examination to share his bias against Sarah Boone. He doesn't want Sarah Boone to have any contact with their son, Lucas. He says derogatory things to the son about Sarah Boone, and all those are still fair game, okay? Now, because he's fighting for full custody of the child or wants full custody, he never wants Sarah. He wants Sarah to spend the rest of her life in prison. This is Brian Boone. I think he's going to admit this on the stand, that he wants Sarah Boone to spend the rest of her life in prison, and he wants Lucas to have no contact with his natural mother. The court, any response, Mr. J? Mr. J, I've reviewed the family court file and I don't see anything contemptuous about what he is doing based on those court records. Not based on my understanding of family law, which was taken a class in 1995. Yeah. I do want to put some caution into their sails. I believe it's going to be completely fair game for him to say, I'm choosing to take these actions because she's incarcerated. We've taken great steps to avoid them knowing that. Besides the fact that she never comes in and out for jury selection. So I think it's going to be fair game for him to say, yeah, I'm not paying the child support because she's in jail. Yeah, I'm not paying alimony because she's in jail. And it's either been settled based on the court file and the family court case, or it's still pending. I think that's fair. And then also there's going to be prior consistent statements that he made to rebut his recent motivation for fabrication. So we'll be prepared to introduce those prior consistent statements as well. Mr. Owens, Judge, and I realize I may open the door about that type of testimony. The court, have you had a conversation with your client about the ramification of that? Mr. Owens, of the jury knowing that she's in custody. The court, yes. Mr. Owens, no, but I will, Judge. Don't you worry, boy. And like I said, I don't anticipate Brian Boone testifying until, I don't know, hell, first of next week. Mr. J, and also one more thing. Mr. Owens, now Tony Henderson and I have a 4-hour appointment with, well, of course, we haven't been able to talk to her much because all this is going on all this week. But Tony Henderson and I, we're going out to see her Saturday from about 11 to 4, or was it 11 to 3? And then Sunday, 11 to 3. Hell, I don't know, boy. But anyway, we're going to spend, 8 hours with her this weekend? So, we'll go over this. Okay, yeah. As well as, Mr. J, there will also now be tablet messaging between Brian Boone and Sarah Boone that will become relevant if we go this route, and jail calls between the two of them. Mr. Owen, all right, good Lord. Everyone just said, oh, Lord mercy. Well, I just want to know the specifics. What exactly you all are utilizing? But the court, I think that's an if, then what happens? I mean, it's all going to be predicated on what he may say from a prior consistent statement respective. Mr. J, and there's a 5th DCA case, I believe, called State versus Williams that would suggest that we are not permitted by the court to be forced to tell people which particular pages we're going to introduce or which jail calls we're going to introduce, particularly when it's on rebuttal. This is all new to us, that he was going to open all these cans of worms, but we're just cautioning him that there is potential rebuttal evidence on jail phone calls, tablets, prior consistent statements, and the testimony that will come out that the reason he stopped paying child support and alimony was because of her incarceration, which continues. Mr. Owens, I think the state believes that Brian Boone is a key witness. I think they've anticipated calling him. We believe he's biased and has animus toward Sarah Boone. The court, okay. Mr. Owens, sorry.
The court, no, that's fine. You can go ahead. Just the wheels are spinning in my head. Mr. Owens, as it gets closer to his testimony, like I said, I think we should proffer whatever cross-examination. I mean, if I attempt to utilize anything from the domestic file, the family law file, that the proffered outside the presence of the jurors to the court can make a ruling. The court, okay, I'm going to overrule the objection at this time. It's just, it may go to bias. I understand the hearsay concept, but if there's specific statements that may have been made, I don't know at this point in time. So I think there's enough potentially there for some level of impeachment maybe, and that may be enough. So I'm going to overrule your objection for now, but I'm going to ask that before we proceed with anything from the family law case on cross-examination regarding Mr. Boone, that you ask to approach so that we can have that proffer and really dial it down at that point in time. Okay? The court. Okay, Mr. Owens. The TikTok, number 35. Mr. Henderson, I'm sorry, Judge, but I saw a TikTok last night. It was a juror that was on a previous panel, number 35. The judge, is that the same one that Mr. J? Morning, Monday. The court, Mr. J brought to my attention. Mr. Henderson, yes, sir, and I didn't know. I think they'll discuss if we could just have one more general. I didn't know if we wanted to admonishment about communication via Mr. Beck. I would also like to include the court. I can't hear you, Mr. Beck. Mr. Beck, I'd also like to include an inquiry on whether she spoke to any of the panel because she was clearly well familiar with this case and did not disclose that to either of the parties. The court, you're talking about 35. Mr. Beck, yes, sir. The court, she's not here. Mr. Beck, does she speak to the other jurors? The court, I got you. Mr. Owens, I could show you the post, but she says, hey, I knew all about this. I've been following this case, but she didn't disclose that. Mr. Henderson, and private inquiries. The court, I'd have to go back and look at my notes. Mr. J, I have the transcript. The court, okay. Mr. J, and all we asked her was, or were you actively seeking out information about the case? And that was enough for all of us, and that was the end. The court, my recollection is that she had raised her hand for almost everything. The video, the interrogation, the body-worn camera, all that good stuff. Mr. J, so since our last inquiry was just, did you actively pursue it? We didn't get into the details, so I'm abandoning the contempt thing, and she can have her Reddit moments, but she can have her TikTok moments. The court, okay, if you want to inquire, Mr. Henderson of the panel, if they've spoke to any of their jurors about it, I'll leave that to your discretion. Mr. Henderson, no, sir, quite frankly, no. The court, all right, well, now with regard to, this is an interesting issue with number 45. He's a registered voter in Orange County, but don't live there no more. So thoughts I welcome because he's technically not an Orange County resident. Mr. J, I'm not entitled to give legal advice to anybody, but the great state of Florida, it would appear that there's a legal issue facing his future on that. But as far as the panel, I'm not happy with a for-cause challenge if they want to, because I do not believe he meets qualifications for the court. I'd have to go back and look at the statute, but he's no longer an Orange County resident, hasn't been since August 1st by his own admission. Mr. Henderson, I mean, people do have that. The court, let me check. Mr. Henderson, have you seen the TikTok video? Mr. J, I don't have Chinese spyware on my phone. Mr. Henderson, fair enough. The court, we have 47 remaining. That includes juror number 25 that was struck this morning for caring for his nephew. Mr. J, he's just not legally qualified. The court, that's my concern. Mr. Henderson, if that's the conclusion, I had this happen in Santa Rosa. Somebody had just recently moved, but they had a resident in both places. So that was the difference in that one. I would agree. The court, okay, well, what about 39 and her inadvertent overhearing of the news at her parents' house, specifically about the case? Mr. Henderson, Judge, we have to let her go for cause, okay? If we don't let her go, and then this inquiry has been heard by this jury, I don't know how many others are going to inadvertently hear the news. The court, response? Mr. J, I don't know what Mr. Henderson is going to ask, so I don't know what it would prompt from her. I already had her circled for individual voir dire for other reasons, so obviously she's circled now for partial publicity, so I don't know why you would treat her differently than the other jurors that the court. Let's go through your voir dire and we can circle back with her on the end separately to address what she heard and what, if any, impact it's going to have. Mr. Henderson, Judge, here's my concern, okay, boy? That's a very important instruction from the court. The court has read it on multiple occasions to these people, okay? And I can understand the inadvertent part to begin with, but the court followed up with the question, did you listen to it? Okay, now, yes, that's what she said. The court needs to send a message at this time. I'll move for calls right now because she has heard stuff. Mr. J, no objection. The court, okay, fine, that takes care of that. So jurors in seat 45 and 39 will be stricken for calls by way of stipulation. Ma'am, do you have their badge numbers for Madam Court Reporter? Miss Andrews, 39 is 551. The court, so 39 is wearing badge 591 or 551? Miss Andrews, 551. The court, thank you, 551. And 45 is wearing a badge. Miss Andrews, 240. The court, 45 is wearing badge 240. They have been stricken for cause by way of stipulation. I'll release them now. Thank you both. Mr. Henderson, thank you, boy. Mr. J, thank you. The court, my deputies advised me that the juror in seat 6 needs to use the facility, so, Mr. Casator, a good chance to get 39 and 45 out of there. The court, okay, so you want me to just release everybody and have them stand back and I can release them? Okay, appreciate you. Thank you. Mr. Henderson, hey, everybody, I need to do a mic check, everybody. Mr. J, Judge, may we approach the court? Yes. At the bench, the court. Basis of the objection, Mr. J. There's been no pending questions. He asked one question out of the whole time we've been up here. Now we're going into his thoughts and beliefs about what the news is and talking about killing. People should get killed on the news for being arrested for child molesting. Voir dire is to hear from the jury, and what we're hearing now is we're hearing from Mr. Henderson. Mr. Henderson, Judge, do I get to do a setup before I ask the question? I mean, the question is that they have to understand, because everyone here said the presumption of innocence and how easy it was. After this, and I've done it many times, there's going to be some people who might say, yeah, I can't do that. The judge, okay, but I've already given them an admonition not to watch the news. Mr. Henderson, I know, I understand that. The court, and your hypothetical predicated on watching the news and what the news says. Mr. Henderson, okay. The court, that's my only concern with that. Mr. Henderson, okay, I won't mention the news again, Judge. The court, okay, let's just get to the point that you're trying to ask as to their ability to follow that law and that constitutional protection, okay? Mr. Henderson, sure. The court, all right, overruled for now. The court, approach. The court, can you elaborate? Mr. J, it's vague, confusing, because you don't have a right to defend yourself with a weapon and use deadly force when you're only presented with non-deadly force. The court, response. Mr. Henderson, I don't understand that, Judge, and if I need to be more detailed with it, well, I'll be more detailed with it. But I just want I'm trying to weed out the people, okay, who do not think that you should ever be able to use a weapon in defending yourself, okay? The court, let's be specific with what that statute requires. Mr. Henderson, yes, Your Honor. The court, objection is sustained, but I'll allow you to rephrase it. Mr. Henderson, okay. The court, approach. The court, yes, sir. Mr. J, going into the facts of the case, given Ms. Boone's height and weight, all the records that I have been provided, she weighed about 105 pounds at the time, according to the Orange County Jail when she was booked in. And she's about 5'2", 5'6", something like that. We're going right into her height and weight. The court, response? Judge, I didn't know that was her height and weight, okay? That's just came to me, okay? If I need to change it, I'll change it. The court, I'm going to sustain the objection. It's way too close to the facts at bar. Mr. Henderson, all right, now, Mr. Am I allowed to change the height and weight? Mr. J, if the judge says yes. The court, do you have any objection in anticipation of that? Mr. J, no, I understand that going into relative fighting capabilities. The court, if you want to address a hypothetical scenario, let's just avoid similar heights and sizes. I can't speak for how large or tall Mr. Torres was, but I know he was about 103. Mr. J, what the facts of the cases are going to show is he was 5'2", 103 pounds, and she was 5'6", about 105 pounds. The court, so let's just use larger people or smaller people than that. I mean, Mr. Henderson, yes, yeah, I got you. Mr. Owens, my client is not 5'6", okay? Mr. J, I'm just going by what the record of the jail said. Mr. Owens, that's not accurate. The court, look, we're not here to quibble over that. The fact of the matter is it's close to the instant facts. Mr. Henderson, how about we do this, boys, okay? Is it the size that you disagree with? Mr. J, just not use the facts of the case. Mr. Henderson, okay, yeah, I got you. Mr. J, could we approach? The court, yes, sir. Mr. J, going into the facts of the case, given that Miss Boone, 2 days later, when presented with her actions on video, claimed that she didn't remember. And it's also borderline confusing since voluntary intoxication isn't a defense, and we're not getting any tie into the legal qualifications of the jurors to serve and to follow the law. What we're doing is pre-trying the case. The court responds, Mr. Henderson, look, we're not, Judge, okay? Because yesterday the state got up and talked about alcohol and the effects of alcohol and what it does, okay? I'm going into the effects of the alcohol and what it does. It's quite relevant in this case because the state has made plenty of pretrial arguments about, well, one was this morning, okay, in a drunken state or whatever, okay? I need to know if people, okay, how they feel about the alcohol and if they feel that people can act differently on the alcohol. Okay, it's not getting into the facts of the case. It's just general. Because if someone that doesn't know that, then that's something that I can use as a peremptory challenge on if I want to. The court, yes, sir. Mr. Henderson, I don't know what the rules are here. Okay, are they going to have their phone, but their phones have to be off? I mean, what's up? The court, so they will have their phones on their persons. They will be turned off. One of the instructions I give them is to silence any electronic devices in the preliminary instructions. Once we head to deliberation, the deputy will collect their phones and they'll be in a basket outside of the deliberation room. Mr. Henderson, okay. The court, the only item that will go back with them is any of the evidence that with the exception of the baseball bat. But we can address the luggage at that point in time, and the state will provide a clean laptop with no programs, no access to internet for our jury members to view any digital evidence that was presented. Mr. Henderson, all right, thank you, Judge. Mr. J, isn't there a preliminary instruction that you're not supposed to post about the case, use electronic? The court, I think that's all in 2.1 instructions as well, yes. Mr. Henderson, I'm just trying to identify the people who can't live without their phone, okay? The court, I got it. You can continue, sir. Thank you. The court, can the parties approach for a moment? The court, do you have any follow-up? Mr. J, no, sir. The court, all right, well, we'll begin with the charging conference. I'll give them some instructions and then we can proceed from there. Do both parties want the opportunity to either take a comfort break or review their notes? Mr. Henderson, I need a comfort break, boys. The court, okay, very good. I'm going to advise as well as the jurors that they may see you out and about over the next couple of weeks and that you may see each other in public. You're not allowed to look at them. You're not allowed to talk to them. And I'll explain that it's not because you all are being rude or insensitive. It's just you're not allowed to have any correspondence or communicate with our jurors after they're selected, okay? Yes, sir. Mr. Owens, it's kind of a small floor, but can we take the stairs down to another floor and use the bathroom? The court, they're not accessible for you all. That's only accessible for Mr. Owens. We can take the elevator to another floor. The court, you can do that? Yeah, I can't give you the stair access. It's only for emergencies or for personnel. Mr. Owens, I'm just saying I don't want to go to the bathroom with a bunch of jurors, okay? The court, I get it. Mr. J, 18 or 19 are courtroom floors. You can go to those. They are the closest. Mr. Owens, are you going to give us a few minutes? The court, yeah, of course. Absolutely. Mr. J, there's a couple of individuals that didn't understand the last question. Mr. Henderson, yes. The court, let me go back. Mr. J, 39. The court, 39 was on the list as well. Mr. Owens, can we take a break? The court, yeah, that's fine. I'll just tell them to remain on this floor. If you've got to bring people back in individually, we can do that. All right, thank you. The court, it's more of a matter of logistics because we're going to bring in the whole panel. I have inquiry of your client first, but we're going to bring in the panel. We have a full box, so where do you propose that we move our jury members? Because of the media participation, do you want me to ask them to move upstairs? Mr. J, I think we could just leave our 14 seated and swear them in there and just have the preliminary instructions, and then if there's anything more the deputies need to tell them, they can do it in the jury room there. The court, okay, so call everybody in, then name them out, and then we'll dismiss the balance of the panel, and then we can swear them in at that point in time. Is that acceptable? Mr. Henderson, yeah, sure. The court, all right, well, very good, thank you. Mr. Owens, Judge, are you going to tell the jury to come back here at 9 in the morning? The court, yes, sir, that's the plan. I'm going to start my regular docket at 8:30 tomorrow so we can start promptly at 9. The only other issue we're going to have to deal with tomorrow morning is the Richardson issue. After that list is, that cold down list of the 119 pictures needs to be provided to the state before 9 a.m. Then we'll have the Richardson hearing, and then we'll bring in the jury and begin opening statements that time. Okay? Thank you. Okay, so that's it. So the next time we delve back into this, we're going to be like actually into the court sidebars. So overall, just kind of hearing that behind the scenes talk that they're doing up there about who they're trying to get, who they're trying not to. You see how they're like, we don't want people on social media. We're, talking about like, using weapons to defend yourself. I guess the weapon is the luggage and whatnot. And we kind of saw this play out, but it's just interesting to see what goes on at the sidebar, between all the parties here and whatnot, especially after the fact, and especially a case like Sarah Boone's. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about with this that we went over is that part with the TikTok stuff. This is one thing I sit here and wonder about that happens on these cases. So like imagine if somebody went in there, a YouTuber, a true crime person, whatever, or even just of interest, but especially somebody who makes content and they're trying to be like, oh, well, I got in on like whatever case, I'm not going to say anything, and then make content, but it's like you would get caught so quick, I would think, right? Or it could just be somebody who's following it, but like this person like posting public stuff, quite clear. Now, also you caught that thing where Mr. J was like, the part where they were talking about TikTok, he's like, do you have TikTok? And he's like, I don't have Chinese spyware on my phone. I'm just like, okay, like so serious, right? But these are the interesting things to me, these kind of aspects behind the scenes that I'm like, wow, like, it's just the jury selection part is so fascinating in that way. Okay, also another point I want to bring up is that part where we were reading about, where they're talking about the phones and everything, and they were like trying to like weed out the people who couldn't live without their phones. Okay, so when I was reading that, I was like, oh my God, like, it's almost like the Murdoch case where like, you can't go have a cigarette till you come up with the deliberations. Now, I'll say this, 100% understand the reasoning and wanting to take the phones away. Like, I got it, right? Totally down with it. And the bigger part of me is like, appreciative of that, like if I was on the jury, but then the other part of me that's like, oh my God, like, this would be me, right? If they're like, okay, no, you're going to come back in the thing, you're going to put your phones in here, you power them down, you're going to put your phones in here, and when you're done deliberating, you can have the phone back. I would be like this. I'd be like, okay, y'all, I'm not trying to sound like I'm like spun out on TikTok or something, even though I am, and I'm totally down with doing that so we can concentrate. Is everybody here cool with like a 15-minute doom scroll social media break before we get started? Like just have at it, like TikTok, whatever is your thing, make a phone, whatever, but like, I just need to like doom scroll for a few minutes, and then you have me, I am here, I'm present for the whole thing. Are we down? I guarantee you half the people would be like, thank you for asking. We want to doom scroll too. Okay, let's just call it what it is. But that's how I am. Like, we need like a 5-minute social media break and then I'll be good. I need to like disassociate and just not be in this moment for a second, right? And then we can be good. So anyways, so that's it. If you're still watching, I greatly appreciate it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And like I said, next time we get into this, it's going to be, I guess like they're going to be actually in trial with the jury and the things, so it'll be even more interesting. So stay tuned is what I'm getting at, okay? Now, if you could please drop some little sofas off in the comment section for myself, Rosco and Spirit, Bo and Luke, and the whole sofa squad, okay? We'll have a place to sit, talk about Sarah Boone, Mr. Owens, and all the other stuff we talk about here at the Sofa Squad. Now, until we do all that down there in that there comment section, I'll see y'all soon.
I just want to give another shout out to Hungry Root for making this video possible. Be sure to check out all their stuff, is down in the description below. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Rosco on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey, welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.